In this section of Chapter 3, we're going to be looking at triangles and irregular polygons. So a triangle is a polygon that has 3 sides, therefore it has 3 angles. In this first figure on the left, you can see we have side AB, side BC, and side CA. And then we have our 3 angles, angle C, angle A, and angle B. An equilateral triangle is a triangle where all 3 sides have the same length and all 3 angles will be equal. So that means that an equilateral triangle will have 60-degree angles because you would do your 180 divided by 3 to get 60 degrees. An isosceles triangle is a triangle where at least 2 of the 3 sides are equal and then 2 angles that are opposite are equal also. So we have our equal sides here. So the angles opposite the equal sides are also equal. So you can see if this is our side, then this angle has to be equal to this angle. Okay, so I tried to make the opposite so you can see the reds are opposites of each other, the blues are opposites of each other. A scaling triangle is a triangle where no sides are equal. An acute triangle is where all 3 sides are acute or less than 90 degrees. An obtuse triangle is going to contain one obtuse angle, and remember that obtuse means it's greater than 90, and here in this picture you can see that's this angle. And a right triangle contains a 90-degree angle. That will be denoted by a little square or a 90 degrees sitting there. Remember that the 2 sides of a triangle that meet at the 90 degrees are called our legs. The side opposite the right angle is called the hypotenuse. So that leads us into the Pythagorean theorem. So the Pythagorean theorem allows us to find a missing side of the triangle. This rule or formula is only used for right triangles when we are given the lengths of the other 2 sides. So you'll be using the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b will always be your legs and c will always be your hypotenuse. So let's do an example here. What if I know, I'm just going to sketch something for you. So what if I have 2 and 4 and I don't know the other side? So that's our c. So then I'm going to say 2 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. So 4 plus 16 equals c squared. And 16 plus 4 there gives me 20. And to undo a square, you have to take the square root. So the square root of 20 equals c. And if you are giving a decimal answer, My Math Lab may tell you if it wants it exact, you'll leave your square root. If it is a rounded decimal answer, you will find the square root. And on your calculator, that is the second and then the x squared key. And then you'll type it in, 20, and enter, and you should get, so that is approximately, so C is approximately 4.4721. Okay, well, what if I know the hypotenuse and a side? So what would that look like? So if you know the hypotenuse and a side, then you're going to have, let's just do 3 and 5 here. Inches. I didn't put units on the other one, so I'm going to make sure to do that here. So I'm going to call this A. So I have A squared plus 3 squared plus 5, equals 5 squared. So A squared plus 9 equals 25. And then you've got to subtract, because now I'm solving an equation here. So I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides, and that leaves me with A squared equals 16. And then you still have to take the square root. So A equals 4 inches. The area and perimeter of a triangle. So if I have the perimeter of a triangle, of course that is the sum of the lengths of the 3 sides. The area of a triangle is the product of the base length at its perpendicular height. So when I'm talking about a area here, you can see where this height drops down and is perpendicular to the base. The height drops down and is perpendicular to the base. So that's what you'll be using in that formula. So it's going to be perimeter is just A plus B plus C, and area is 1/2 base times height. So let's do an example here. So let's say that this first triangle has a height of 7 centimeters. Let's do 10 centimeters. 6 centimeters. So to do the perimeter, of course, we're just adding up those outsides. So 6 plus 10 plus 12 is 28 centimeters. And then to do my area, I'm going to do 1/2 base times height. So that's going to be 1/2 times 12 times 7. Okay, and you can put this in your calculator. So if you do 1/2, you'll use that ABC key 1 ABC 2 times 12 times 7, and you should get 42. Here you got to remember we're talking about area, so this is square centimeters. Hero's formula allows you to find the area of a triangle if you know the 3 sides but not the height. So the first thing you would have to do is find the semi-perimeter, which is called S. And so you do A plus B plus C divided by 2. And then you'll use that S for the area. So it's the square root of the semi-perimeter times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C. So let's go through one example here. So let's say we have 12 centimeters, 10 centimeters, and 7 centimeters. So first I have to find that semi-perimeter. So I'm going to do S equals 7 plus 10 plus 12 divided by 2. And make sure here that when you're typing in your calculator, you're using parentheses, or you just do 7 plus 10 plus 12 first, so that you're following those order of operations. So we have 29 divided by 2, and that gives us 14.5. So this 14.5 centimeters is our semi-perimeter. Now we're going to use that to find the area. There we go. So for the area, we'll do the square root of 14.5 times 14.5 minus 7 times 14.5 minus 10 times 14.5 minus 12. This equals the square root of 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 7, 5. And then take the square root, and that's going to give us an approximate answer here of 34.9777 square centimeters. So here is a chart from your textbook of the classification of polygons, and you can see all of the different types that we have worked with. So regular or irregular polygons. A regular polygon is a polygon where all the sides have the same length and all the angles are equal. And a polygon that is not regular is said to be irregular. So here let's take a look at how we can find perimeter and area of a figure. So we're going to assume that all the angles are right angles. So since this is an irregular polygon, we are going to have to cut this into pieces to be able to find what we need. So the perimeter would be easy because we're just adding up the sides. So the perimeter is just going to be that 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus 5 plus 8 plus 3. So we get 40 feet. The area that's a little more tricky. So if I cut this, and we're going to have two shapes now. So I have two rectangles. And to find my area, I'll have to do the area of a rectangle 1 plus the area of rectangle 2. Now remember, the area of a rectangle is length times width. So I'm going to do 4 times 3 plus 5 times 12. Notice I'm being careful with what pieces I'm picking because I want to make sure that I am getting the length and width. So there's my length and width, and then length and width. Okay. So I have 12 plus 60, or 72 square feet. So there is some practice in your textbook. You can see that here. And there's also your homework in my math lab of 3-3. Make sure that you do those, that way you feel comfortable. And if you have any questions, please let me know.